Okay, here we are. This is a new kart racing game and it's called KartKraft. It's a game that I have been waiting on for probably 5 years, and we basically heard nothing from this game for the last 2 years. It went into closed beta testing and then we never heard anything. Everything died, but last week it was announced it was going on to early access on Steam and it's been released. And as of today, which is November the 4th, there's been an update for it, mainly to do with the wheels, the steering input. The one thing that they have pre-programmed as Xbox controllers. They had one wheel, I think, the Thrustmaster, up until today, and now they've added the Logitech G27, a 29 and a 920. Now unfortunately, not one of them is mine. I have a Logitech Driving Force GT. They haven't added the configurations for it yet, or the presets for it, but you can go in and do all the bindings yourself, which I have done. And you'll see that the throttle and the brake work and the steering, they are all set. It's still a bit twitchy. I probably have to tweak the force feedback and sensitivity and stuff like that, but it does work. You can go into the settings and adjust various things. I've got it set to 180 degrees. I've got the dead zone down to 0. You've got the force feedback settings, etc. You can mess about with those. There are 3 tracks in this game at the moment because it is early access, and up until today there was only one method of racing. In fact, hang on to come out of that. Right, if we go to first of all, if we go to the pits, let's look at the pits. Now the pits show you the carts that you have, the driver that you have. Well, we've only got one kart in the game at the moment, which is that one, and it gives you very little information on what it is, and there's not a lot that you can actually change from what I've seen. You can press these things, but there's not much you can do. Looking at them, the various components of the kart, it just shows you how it's, you know, what parts are actually in the construction of the kart. So that again is something that they're going to have to update, which they'll no doubt do through time. So if we come out of that, if we can get out of it, your driver, you've got a standard figure for the driver. You can't change the suit, at least if you can. I haven't found out how to do it yet. It's a generic solid red suit, as well as the helmet being the white helmet. These are all things that aren't that important at the moment. Getting the actual mainstay of the game is probably more important than anything else. You've got the boot and the gloves and everything you can look at, but you can't change. You also choose a team, and you choose your team tent and choose the colour. And the strange thing about the gear is you've got this drone, which you can use, I believe, for photo mode. If you're driving around the track, you'll see the drone floating around. I believe you can use that for a photo mode, although I haven't looked at photo mode and I don't see any photo mode in the game yet either. Let's come out of that. Notifications. This is to tell you how you're doing in your hot lap against other people. Now there isn't multiplayer in this game yet, and it probably won't be for quite a while, but in the notifications that's telling you that somebody has beaten your time on a particular circuit. So you would go in and you do a lap, and you're doing a lap against your next nearest rival, and so on and so forth. You can see I'm 488th. I'm about 5 seconds off that guy who's 57th. So there's people online and racing just to get fast laps in this mode of play. If you come out of that one, you can go to stats. There's not an awful lot of info in stats. It just tells you what level rank you're at and how many points you need to go up to the next level. your global rank, that is. And then preferences, again, as I say, is all these settings. So we'll come out of that, we'll go to race, and this is the mode that was there yesterday. This is a mode that is now working today. Leaderboard is the one that I've just described, where you pick a circuit and you basically do laps of the circuit to see if you can actually beat your nearest rival's ghost, whom you will be racing around the circuit. This one here, the free play one, is where you can go in and just practice. If you then hit this one here, this gives you the 3 circuits, or gives you a brief history of each circuit. You've got the Geelong Kart Club in Australia, you've got the PFI, which is the UK's largest outdoor karting circuit in Lincolnshire, and then you've got the Go-Kart Club of Victoria, which is another Australian circuit. So the one that we're going to look at is this PFI one, which is the UK one, and then we'll just hit start. It's the same as most racing games. You've got different camera settings for how you prefer to use your view or change your view within the game. You can do that. So we'll just have a couple of laps around this circuit and see whether I can keep it on the track. I'll just move my mouse out the way. I mean, the actual in-game graphics are pretty realistic looking. They're pretty sharp. Right, so we'll join the session if we can get it to work. So we're in the pits. I don't know how loud this is. It's probably too loud over my mic. We'll soon find out. You've got now, what one is my camera button again? I'm trying to remember. I think it's this one. I've got them configured. You've got the third person view, you've got the nose cone view, you've got the sort of left shoulder view, which is a bit weird. It's even weirder trying to drive. You've got, is that the front sprocket or the rear sprocket? I don't know. You've got the side view like that. That's even crazier to drive. You've got a sort of under the car almost view there. I think that's like that because we're in the pits. And then you've got this one. You can also change your field of view as well. I think I've got it a wee bit too far, but it doesn't matter, we'll just go. So we'll have a slow wander around the circuit. And you'll see the frame rate's pretty good. Oh, I think I've got the racing line on. Well, that's handy anyway. These are all digitally scanned, these circuits, to be as realistic as possible, I believe. We're heading round under the bridge. Up and around. Sharp left here. Of course, there's different configurations for the circuit as well. You can see that, but there is no other configuration that you have other than this layout. Now, it's pretty penal as far as going off the circuit's concerned. If you hit any of those rumble strips in the corners, you're very likely to get flung off the track or spin out. You've got to be careful. That might be something they need to tweak a bit. So that's basically a lap of the circuit. And it's the kart's pretty twitchy to me, I think. I need to adjust some of the settings a bit more, but other than that, it drives pretty good. Even though it isn't configured to work with my wheel, I've taken the time just to go through the settings and get it as good as I can. Almost lost it there, getting in too quick into the corner. You don't get any skid marks on the track surface at this point. Whether the lad though is into the game, I don't know. This might be my fastest lap. Oh, I think it is. There we go. I think that's about the first clean lap I've done on this circuit. There we go. You see, if you just overdo it into a corner, you're going to spin out, and you know, there's a very, very fine edge to surviving a lap on this circuit. They'll definitely tweak it. Let me just reset this. There's a lot of work to get done, considering that they stripped the game back to 0 and restarted, which is why we heard nothing from them for 2 years. But this is just a little brief video just to let you see how it drives. And it's going to be no more than that. And the one thing I haven't found out yet is where the hell do I get into the pits? I managed to come out of the pits, but I can't see where to go in. I think that was a drone up above us there. Let's see if we can find our way into the pits in this circuit, because I've never driven into the pits. Let's have a look. You can feel the little bumps in the surface of the track. Now, this is the way in. There we go. I knew I'd find it one way or another. Right. So there we are. We've done a couple of laps of the circuit. And this has been... Oh, there's a little bird there. This has been my first little viewing video of KartKraft. The game I've been waiting on for 5 years. Let's see where this goes. Where does this go? I don't really think you're supposed to drive through here, but I'm just curious to see where it is. Oh, this is the pits. Is it? Well, yes, it is. This is where we started. So there you go. That's KartKraft, and hopefully we'll have a bit more of it soon enough, no doubt. Right, we'll see you again